Alright, this is lesson 55, scatter plots. Today we'll be using another statistical tool to kind of give us a picture of what things look like, and specifically between two different objects, like is there a relationship between two different objects, okay? And we use this in real life all the time. Scientists they do experiments all the time to see if there's a relationship between, let's say, the sun and skin cancer. Or they might say, oh, cancer is caused by something. We need to figure that out, okay? Now, what if I came to the lab and I was like, you know what cancer is caused by? Eating too much cheese. That's what causes cancer. Is that smart of me to say that? They'd all probably laugh at me, right? And then I'll say, well, I know it's true. And they're like, well, prove it to us, okay? Well, and then I'll say, well, what do you think cancer is caused by? And the scientists are thinking, well, cancer is caused by too much sun exposure. And then I'm like, I don't believe it. Prove it, okay? So it's not really true until you prove it. But would you agree that maybe the scientist is probably right? Yes or no? Yeah, probably right. But did they prove it yet?
No.
No. So they do an experiment and they just call up all the people who have maybe they're at the local hospitals who have cancer, and they'll take a survey. They're like, what kind of how long were you in the sun when you were this age? Did you wear sunscreen? Yes or no? And they'll take all this data and they'll plot it together. And if they find a relationship, then they could totally see, like, oh yeah, being out in the sun too much all the time gives you cancer, or you have a higher risk of cancer, okay? So anyways, that's what we're looking at today. These are the steps, and here we go. I'm going to do a couple of them, and you're going to write down the second one, okay, not the first one. Okay, so let's pretend that I was wanting to figure out what are my sleep patterns through the week, and I'm wondering if there's any trend lines on my sleep patterns. So the first thing I want to do is I would take data, and I would do it over multiple weeks, but I only did it over 1 week. So let's pretend that this is my data. On Monday, I get 8 hours of sleep. Tuesday, I get 7.5 hours. Wednesday, I get 7 hours. Thursday, 6 hours. Friday, 12 hours. 11 hours on Saturday, and 9 hours on Sunday. Okay? So if that's my pattern, okay? And I'll do that over many weeks. So I want to see what my sleep patterns are. So the way I could do this is I would take my x-axis and I would write down the days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay? And then I would look at the y-axis and I would write down, oh, by the way, you should label the bottom day of the week. And then on the side, we could label the hours, okay? So it looks like I get the most sleep, or the 12 hours is the highest. So I'm going to go from 0 up to 12, okay? Okay, so if I were to plot it now, I look, Monday it says I have 8 hours of sleep, so then I go under Monday, I'm going to go up to 8 hours and plot a point here. Then on Tuesday, I have 7.5 hours, so I'm going to go plot a point here. Wednesday, I have 7 hours, plot a point here, a little bit lower. Thursday, I have 6 hours, a little bit lower. Friday, I have 12 hours. And Sunday, I have 9 hours. Oh, I'm sorry, Saturday, I have 11 hours. Sunday, I have 9 hours, okay? Okay, that's just for 1 week, right? Now, let's say I did this week after week and I kind of kept track of it. And I plot points as I go. Okay, maybe you could see that there's a trend, right? On Mondays, you could see that there's a trend that's going from here all the way down and then kind of jumps up on Fridays, and I go back down, right? Do y'all see that trend line over week after week? Okay, so when I plot all this data week after week, a lot of data, you can see all the dots kind of clumped together. Do y'all see that? And sometimes the dots don't clump together. So, what's the relationship between the day of the week and the hours? What do you notice? Not enough sleep on which day?
Monday to Wednesday.
Well, Monday I got like about 8 hours, don't you think? When does it get worse?
Wednesday.
Wednesday and Thursday, right? And then what do you notice about my sleep pattern? And then it increases, right? Okay, it goes up a lot on the weekends. Why do you think it goes up a lot on the weekends?
No school.
No school, which means I'm not working. And what? I want to sleep. Why do you think I want to sleep? Because I'm tired. I need to catch up. Does that make sense? Okay? So that's the first one. We see a correlationship between the day of the week and the hours of sleep I get. Okay? Is there a correlationship? Does the day of the week determine how many hours I get? Is there a law written that says, since it's Wednesday, you're only going to get 7 hours of sleep? Is my body saying, oh, it's Wednesday, you should only get 7 hours of sleep? Is that what my body's telling me? So is it a direct correlationship to how many hours I get? No, it's not. It's not the cause of it. There is a relationship during the week because I know that I'm working and such. All right, so next one, let's do another one. Number 2. Let's say you were looking at getting a car. You're all going to be getting cars or hopefully driving it when you're in high school. And you want to see what kind of car you get. Okay, what prediction would you what would you predict in regards to an engine size and the miles per gallon? Would you think a big engine would use more gas, less gas, or it doesn't matter? More gas? How do you know that?
Because the bigger the engine is, the more gas is needed to fill it up.
Okay. Anyone else agree with her? Okay, I agree with you, but let's say I didn't agree with you. How would you prove it? Well, you could do it on this, okay? So, if I were a senior, or a junior, or whenever, 16, for example, I would ask people, what kind of car do you have, okay? And they'll tell me what kind of car, and I say, how big's your engine? Well, this one is a 1.2 liter. It's real small. And I ask them how many miles per gallon. This one gets 40 miles per gallon. And then I do that again for the next person. This person has a truck, 4.6 liter. They get 14 miles per gallon. And then I get all this data. I get all of their engine sizes and all of their miles per gallon. Y'all follow me right now? Okay, so on the bottom of my graph, I would write engine size. And on the side of my graph, I would write down the miles per gallon, okay? And I notice on my engine size, it goes from about 12 up to 50, almost 50, right? So, I'm sorry, on my engine size, it goes from 1 liter all the way up to about 6 liters. So I'm going to go write this down. I'm going to go 1 liter, 2 liters, 3 liters, 4 liters, 5, and then 6. Kind of put that a little too wide, okay? Then on my miles per gallon, I'm noticing it going from 1 liter or 10 miles per gallon up to 50 miles per gallon. So I'm just going to go write this down: 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, and I start plotting my data. Okay, so on this one, I'm noticing 1.2 liters gets 40 miles per gallon. So I'm going to go to 1.2, which is about here, and I'm going to go up to 40 and plot a point. Then the next one is 2.8 liters, 27 miles per gallon. Next one is 4.6. Sorry, I missed that one. 4.6 liters is 14 miles a gallon. And then next one is 3 liters, 24 miles a gallon. Next one is 1.8 liters, 35 miles a gallon. Next one is 2.6 liters, 30 miles a gallon. It's about there. Let's see right here. Next one is 4 liters, 18 miles a gallon. Next one's 5.7 liters, 12 miles a gallon. Next one is 1.8 liters, 33 miles a gallon. Last one, 2.4 liters, 23 miles a gallon. Okay, now what are you noticing about my graph? Well, if I do this there's like a line that's going down, right? Can you all see that like imaginary line right here? So what can you predict from seeing the cars? What are you noticing? Was Ella right? Was her prediction true? Yes or no? Is it the bigger the engine, the more gas you spend? Yeah. And this proves it, right? We took a survey of a bunch of cars and we asked, how big was your engine? How many miles per gallon do you get? Okay? And it's proving that there's an inverse relationship, meaning the bigger the engine, the bigger your engine gets, the lower your gas mileage, right? The smaller your engine gets, the higher your gas mileage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this proves that there's a direct relationship between engine size and miles per gallon. Okay? Any questions on this? So all we're doing, we're making scatter plots. I'm going to give you data, and then you're going to plot it on here, and then we're going to analyze it more on Monday. So why don't we have you turn to your neighbor, discuss just number 2, and then write it down. Ready, set, go. Number 3. Okay? Let's say I was I made a prediction. I thought, you know what? The more time you spend on homework, the higher your grade point average will be. Is that true? The more time you spend studying, the higher your grades will be. Is that true or not? Have you proved it?
No.
No, but do you think that's an educated guess? Like that's probably true? I think it's a good educated guess. Now we want to prove it, right? We always want to have evidence for what we're saying. So let's see if it's true, okay? So let's pretend that these are students that I asked. I said, hey, I was curious. What is your, how many hours a night do you spend studying? And then, what's your GPA? Okay, and I wrote down all these students over here. So, hey. Okay, so, hours of studying to GPA. So, the first thing I'm going to do is organize my data. On the bottom, I'm just going to put the hours that kids study. So, I'm going to write hours on the bottom. And it looks like kids either study nothing, 0 hours, or they go up to about 4.5, 5 hours. So we're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And then it looks like they have GPAs. The only GPA you can get is either from 0 up to 4.5, really. It's really hard to get up to 5. I think it's impossible, actually, because those are AP classes. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do one more, 5. Just for the sake of perspective, okay? Now I'm going to take each student's time they spent and then draw a point based upon where their GPA is. Okay, so this first student, 3 hours, they study 3 hours a night, and their GPA is 3.7. So I'm going to go from 3 hours, I'm going to go all the way up. And you're all doing this together with me, right? Are you doing this? Okay. We're not on our iPads right now. We're on our papers. I actually think you don't even need your iPads today. So, next one is 1 hour. The next student studies only 1 hour, and they have a 3.4 GPA. That's pretty good. Next student only studies, that person studies nothing, and they have a 1.7. So they have one like right down here, real low grade. Next person's 2 hours a day, and they get a 3.5 GPA. Next person is 4 hours a day. They have a 4.2 GPA. Next person is 3.5 hours a day. They have a 3.9. Next person is 3 3/4 hours. They have a 4.0. Actually, right about here. Next person has, they only study like 15 minutes a night. They have a 1.5 GPA. Next person has half hour a day, and they get a 1.9 GPA. That's what they earn. Next person 1 hour a night, they have 2.4 GPA. Next person is 1.5 hours a night, 2.7. Next person is 1.5 hours a night, 2.7. Did I write that? Oh yeah, I got that. And then last one, 2 hours, 3.3. Okay. So, I'm noticing that there is a bit of a line that's going across. And if I were to get a line of best fit, I'm noticing that it's going up, right? So, this is our evidence, right? This is evidence to prove that the more you study, the higher your GPA, right? Someone who doesn't study at all, what can you expect their GPA to be about? About 1 or 1.5, right? Some of us are proud of that. And they know better. Okay? Or others, the more you study, look at the highest person. What if you studied 4 hours a night? What GPA would you have? 4.0, right? Does that make sense? So, what about this person? This person only studies 1 hour, right? And they have a pretty good GPA. Do you agree? So they don't try as hard, but they do pretty well, right? And there's other people that study a lot, but they don't do as well, right? So, it doesn't mean you're going to follow the line, but this proves that the more you study, the higher your grades are. Do you think they're related? Do you think both hours of studying and GPA are related? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think studying causes higher grades?
Mhm.
Yeah, of course. The more you study, the higher your grades. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, okay? Let me do one more. This one's just going to go quickly. Actually, we'll do... Let's pretend that I had a new one. Let's pretend that I was asking, I bet you that your shoe color affects your hair color. Do you all agree with that?
No.
The color of your shoes affects your hair color. I'm smart. I think that's true.
You're a smart guy out there.
Do you agree with me?
Not at all.
Why not? Where's your evidence?
Right here.
Do you have evidence?
Yeah.
Sure it does. Look, you wear white shoes. Look, brown hair. Look, white shoes, brown hair.
What about you?
I told you. So what? If I make a statement, I should prove myself. So I would prove myself with a scatter plot. Okay, and maybe I might disprove myself. Let's see if you think I might disprove myself on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so I'm gonna put shoe color and hair color. So shoe color, let's just put 4 categories: white, brown, black, and I'll just put colorful, which means everything else in between. And then hair color, we'll do black, brown, red, and blonde, okay? I'm totally gonna blow your minds away, right? Okay, here we go. Kimmy, what color are your shoes?
Brown.
And what color is your hair?
Brown.
Oh, okay. What about you? What color are your shoes? Color of your hair?
Like brown.
Okay. Color of your shoes?
Black.
Okay. Color of your hair?
Brown.
Okay. Color of your shoes?
Black.
Color of your hair?
No, it's brown.
Okay. Color of your shoes?
Black,
Color of your hair?
brown,
Okay. Color of your shoes?
Blue.
Okay. Color of your hair?
Brownish.
Color of your shoes? Color of your hair? Color of your shoes? What? Color of your hair? Okay. Shh. Color of your shoes? Color of your hair?
brown,
Color of your shoes?
black,
Color of your hair?
black,
Color of your shoes? Color of your hair? Color of your shoes? What? Color of your hair? Shh. Color of your shoes? Color of your hair?
brown,
Color of your shoes? Color of your hair? Color of your shoes?
black,
Color of your hair?
blonde.
Why is it so hard? Up here. Okay, color of your shoes.
Black.
Color of your hair. Okay. Color of your shoes. Color of your hair. Tan, is that color or is that brown? Those are brown. What was your hair? Brown. Okay. I thought those were your roots down here. I know, just playing. Okay, next. And color of your hair? Color of your shoes?
Black,
Hair?
brown,
Okay. Color of your shoes? Color of your hair? Shoes?
Black.
Hair?
Brown. Yeah, black, brown.
Shoes?
Black.
Hair?
Brown.
I'm not
Black.
blind.
Alright.
Black.
Uh-huh.
Brown.
Alright.
Yep. Tell me my hair's blonde.
Okay, color and brown. Yep. Black and brown. Okay. Yep.
Black.
Uh-huh.
Black.
Yep.
You're not the only one with t-shirt.
Okay. And? Okay. So, does your shoe color affect your hair color? No, there's no real line here. You might say, oh, there's a straight line here, but that doesn't really give me information. It kind of goes all over the place. It kind of is like everywhere, right?
One has red hair.
So, does your shoe color affect your hair color?
No.
No, we would say this is no correlation, okay? There's no correlation. And you have to challenge people's statements, okay? In real life, people, when you become adults, people know how to sound all like, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm sure you and your friend do. I'm sure your friends are like, oh my gosh, did you know that dinosaurs live in San Dimas? Right? Well, prove it, right? So, in real life, you might say, someone might say something educated. They might sound very educated. They might sound like, oh, I went to school. Did you know that shoe color affects hair color? And let's say I'm a real smart person. Would you agree with me?
Kinda.
Why would you agree with me?
Because you're smart.
Because I'm smart, but is that what the evidence shows? This is your evidence. No, it doesn't show that, okay? So, don't just trust people. Find the evidence, okay? That's the lesson.